What's going on, guys? Rob A here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Robots in Disguise Sideswipe. This is the Warrior or Deluxe class version of the character, and as you can see, he's looking pretty slick in some very nice, kind of pearl-esque metallic red. So very, very cool looking. Nice paint apps so far. I like the little tampoed symbols on his legs and chest here. Checking out the back, you can see he transforms in 10 easy steps, and you can see his vehicle mode looking pretty cool there. And of course he's got a sword, because, you know, swords, why not? Swords, they're, you know, the guns of the future. And nice image of him on the side here. So far, these Warrior class figures from Robots in Disguise have been a little hit or miss, but a lot of them have actually been really cool. Like Drift was awesome. Grimlock is pretty great. So I am going to go ahead and give this guy the benefit of the doubt. We're going to open him up and check him out in just a moment. Okay, guys, so here is Sideswipe in his vehicle mode. And as you can see, he's a very nice looking, futuristic type, prototype race car, kind of sports car thing going on here. You know, got some nice blue headlights. As you probably can tell, the red on the hood and doors really does not match the rest of the red. They tried to get it to match because, you know, they used the same kind of pearlescent red, but it does come out looking a bit more pink on the parts that are painted rather than the molded plastic parts. So it's definitely more visible on Sideswipe than it is, say, on Drift here. And you can see these two guys side by side. I'll just put them right there. Drift looks way bigger, way more imposing than this guy, but they are the same length. Drift is definitely a lot wider, and about the same height too, actually. But overall, I do like this design very, very much, but I think Drift kind of wins out just a little bit in that department. His wheels are clipped on, and because of this bit in the transformation right here, this tends to hit the ground a little bit and prevent these front wheels from actually touching the ground properly and getting enough friction to spin, which is kind of unfortunate. So he does come with a sword, as you can see here. It's very, very cool, very long, but there's not really any place to store it underneath in the vehicle mode, which is kind of a bummer. You can put it on the top of the car here. There's a little slot here. You can stick one of the guards on the sword into the roof in vehicle mode, which works. Looks a little weird. Maybe there's a way to store it in here somewhere. I haven't found it yet, so if you guys figure it out, let me know. It's not in the instructions, since the instructions are just printed right on the back of the card. There's no, you know, fold-out instructions, which is, you know, I understand they're saving, you know, saving paper and stuff by making these simpler and, you know, having to have less instructions like that. But it comes at a bit of a detriment because, you know, you really can't get all of the details in there. So whatever, that's a small nitpick. Obviously the little scanning code is right on the hood, and you can't really remove that, because if you do so, you will also remove this paint, unless you don't care about removing the paint, in which case knock yourself out. But yeah, I mean, it's a very cool looking vehicle mode. I do like it a lot. You can see the back there and the other side, but there are just those minor flaws that kind of detract from the overall enjoyment of it. But there is Sideswipe in vehicle mode. Once more, we'll show him off with Drift. Okay, so transforming Sideswipe to robot mode is pretty simple, as you'd imagine. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to come around here, and we're just going to separate the sides of the vehicle, just like so. We're going to kind of get all these pieces separated out, And we're going to just bring the arms out to the side, just like so. All right. Next up, we're just going to bring the windshield and the hood of the car just kind of back and out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and flip the kind of fakey chest up and just plug that in. There's two little pegs here. There's only one place for it to go, so you don't really need to worry about that. And now the legs are actually pretty nice in the way they transform. I actually like this. It's pretty much the same, stuff we're used to, but they do it in just enough of a different way that it doesn't feel, as stale. I mean, you could just leave them like this and have them, hello. But the legs actually, the shins and things stay in place here. And the legs actually, the feet come out, and then the sides of the legs rotate out and down, and then form like that. So it's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's been done before, but it's unique and different enough that it just adds a little bit of freshness to his transformation. So once you've got that, you actually you can see these little pegs here, and they go into the backs of these. You can see this little hole. They go into the back of that for vehicle mode, but in robot mode, they're going to go into this hole here, which is going to spread his shoulders out just a little bit. But before we do that, we're actually going to take the front quarter panel of the car, and we're going to rotate it around like so. Just make sure you're clearing all the robot bits. So we're just going to rotate these around and have them up like that. And then we're going to bring this all up together, and then they'll peg in like so. There you go. And just want to make sure that these pegs are in the correct hole here. And there you go. That's pretty much it. There's Sideswipe in robot mode. And like I said, he's got this long sword, and he does have a little cavity down behind his head that is actually shaped to fit the sword, and it'll just go in just like that. And there you have it. There is Sideswipe. So pretty nice. I mean, he does not blow me away. I wouldn't even put him on the same tier as Drift. But he's not bad overall. His articulation is as follows. He's got a ball jointed head, which is a bit limited just due to the kibble around his head, but it's not too bad. He can look up a little bit, he can look down a little bit, side to side. It's weird, they're still doing that clear plastic behind the eyes, but yet the eyes are painted thing, so I'm not sure what the deal is there, but that's alright. He does have movement up in the shoulders. This whole, well, on mine at least, just the one side is kind of loosey-goosey, so this side tends to want to pop out of place, whereas this one stays in place pretty well. So, it may be just a tolerance issue on my figure alone, or you may have the same problem, but his arms, of course, go around everywhere, which way. He does have a ball-jointed elbow, no bicep swivel. We just have the ball-jointed elbow, so you can get that kind of same effect out of there. You can, of course, stick this in his hand, and he will, there you go, he will hold it. There's a little slot for his thumb to go in there. No waist articulation. He does have universal hinge thighs. He does have a thigh swivel, or hips rather. He does have a decent knee, and of course the feet do get a nice amount of bend out of them due to the transformation. So, like I said, I really do like the paint apps on this guy. They did a nice job. They have paint in this little tiny crack in his foot, and I really don't get that. Like, just leave that alone. Paint maybe the taillights on the car or something. I don't really get why they would put paint there when there are other places it could go, but that's fine. You know, that's for them to figure out, not me. But you can get him posed decently. Here he is with Drift, of course. You can see they're of similar size, just about the same size. Drift is definitely bulkier again as a robot as well as a car. But this guy's cool. Drift is a really good figure. This guy, he's a decent figure. I wouldn't go crazy out of my way for him unless you really love the character. I myself still have not had a chance to actually watch the cartoon, so I don't really know much about the character. I mean, I know about Sideswipe, but not this Sideswipe, so I'm going based solely on the toy. His feet are a little weird. He wants to kind of wobble instead of just standing straight, but that's okay. But I mean, other than some minor nitpicks and just a little bit of weird QC, he actually is a decent figure. So he's worth picking up, not worth hunting. Like, don't pay over retail for this guy, certainly. But overall, not a bad figure. You see his backside there, but yeah, Sideswipe, and he's got his crazy hair. Can't not have the crazy hair. One thing, yeah, to be careful about, I did forget to mention this earlier. His head is on a ball joint, but the stalk is very, very thin. I don't know if you can see that. It's very thin black plastic. I think the same, same plastic as his shoulders and everything. So just be careful. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going to break. It feels quite sturdy enough. But you never want to take a chance with that sort of thing. So just be careful of that. But anyway, yeah, decent figure, worth your time. But again, don't pay over retail. But yeah, that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. I've got more Transformers coming up real soon, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, why don't you check out one of my other reviews. Maybe you'll find something you didn't know you liked yet. But in the meantime, thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.